It's really about celebrating the maximal blessing that humanity could ever embrace and actualize the planet that we have in our hearts. We hold the vision of how perfect and balanced, harmonious, divinely inspired things can be. So we're going to take you through today on the academic aspects of why it is that we're going to hold the concert for the living water. What is it that we're doing? We're going to, if I do my job, demystify what 528 hertz frequency is, where it comes from, how we got it, and its relevance to the urgencies of this planet. Addressing the problems, solving the pollution, solving the major psychosocial, behavioral, geopolitical dilemmas that we face as a global village. The most amazing thing is what Leonardo da Vinci left behind, which is the Vitruvian woman, and I'll be sharing a bit about that as it relates to this concept of there being a perfect circle of sound and there being a map that maps out, guides us to divine human communion for the masses, that we could be all that we could be, that we were meant to be, to fulfill our destiny, to be these absolutely powerful co-creators. So if there were a couple of study materials that I would recommend for the average layperson, read the book Love, The Real Da Vinci Code. And the documentary DVD, it's an experimental, edutaining information, narration, and graphics presentation, 2 hours, called The Love Code. And that will reinforce what I'm sharing with you today in a major way. And once you have it sink in, and once it settles in your heart will be completely uplifted with the blessing of the revelation and the power in them. We don't have time to dwell, as we have dwelled for so long, about the bad news. And so we're really at a crossroads about focusing on what is positive, what is good, because focusing on what's not good hasn't helped. It hasn't changed. You have not seen this Leonardo da Vinci drawing. So from Da Vinci's time to the present, there's nothing new under the sun to show you that geopolitically, economically, financially, manipulation of the population has not changed significantly. And this is a Da Vinci drawing that never made it into the coffee table version that you can buy at Barnes & Noble bookstore of the, quote, complete works of Leonardo da Vinci. It's not in there. And it's not in there because it relays the truth that should set us free, shall set us free. It's like a light into the darkness. Light dispels the darkness. Truth is that way. And so here you have a picture of the bull, a pagan symbol that has been, over the past centuries, adopted as the symbol for the Roman Catholic Church. It's from Baal, the pagan god of fertility, and this is a symbol of having the church deliver the tree of life over the stormy waters to the shores controlled globally by the royalty of Europe. And so this is the geopolitics and the economics of war and manipulation, coercion, enslavement of global populations at the time of Da Vinci. That's why you do not see that in today's complete works of Da Vinci, so-called. Nothing has changed. We're still dumbed down, manipulated, coerced, enslaved at will by those who control the geopolitical systems. And that's literally a behavior manipulation by the propaganda mechanisms of the mass media. They have literally been able to engage, entrain, anchor the mass population through the anchormen in the news media to fear and the status quo. So the concept of coming out of that involves more of a heart to realize there's a discrepancy, there's an emotion, there's a real sense of something really is imbalanced about where we are that is really appropriate for what a normal human being engages. And to the extent that these, our children and our children's children, future generations on this planet, have already been enslaved, have already been manipulated, have already been killed genocidally, globally, we, the people who have some semblance of sanity and reason and a heart filled with love and an inner vision that we can create something better than this, that's what's compelling to us, and that's why we're here today for Live H2O. And so coming out of that, like Yeshua, Jesus' Hebrew name, Yeshua, said, "Come out of her, my people, lest ye be infected by her plagues." He also said that the kingdom of heaven is near. The solution is seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Then all else will come to you. That's what this concept of having a concert played in the music of the matrix, the musical mathematical matrix, which in the religious world is called the kingdom of heaven, is the only solution. The word solution implies water, the universal solvent. So this is what we've got to do. We're compelled as loving human beings, reasonable, rational human beings, to move towards this solution, not this intoxication. The end to this vaccination, iatra, genocide, intoxication mentality, where somehow we're at war with everything. Antibiotics, anti-biology, instead of probiotics, instead of looking at water literally as the universal solvent that can supply everything from hydrogen fuel that can eliminate all the pollution and the petrochemical waste, to looking at how water and hydrosonics is the most profoundly important field in healthcare, and may, in fact, do away with 90% of medicine as we know it today. Simple understanding about water as the solution, the universal solvent, and this concept that if we know love is the universal healer, and if we know already that music is the universal language, then it makes complete sense to use water, the universal solvent, to solve the pollution, to solve the problem. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Solve pollute, to solve the problem with music and love and water. That's what this whole concept of a concert for the living waters is about. It's very simple. And so, please, at minimum, pray. We're going to talk about how powerful that is. If you already don't know what that it's about, we're going to share some revelations today that share with you why I'm asking you, as my sister, as my brother, to pray for the success of us having everything, and it's already happening. The information I'm going to share with you now is just that. It's the key to the house of David that opens doors that no man can close, that the Bible talks about in the end times shall be revealed, literally to fulfill the long heralded concert for the 144,000 Revelation 14:1 talks about. 144,000 humble servants of the Creator gather in the end times to sing a new song with new musical notes in such a way as to instantaneously and miraculously deliver this entire planet spiritually, electromagnetically, vibrationally back to where we should be, which is the Garden of Eden. heaven on earth.